If all you do is carry a hammer, all you're going to see is nails. And if you're just looking for bad behavior, you'll find it.
I was taught, don't be kind till Christmas.
First time I was doing it with administrators, my HR director at the time goes, well, we don't need kids telling us what administrators we need. And I said, yes, we do. It used to be, we used to seek information from them. Now they're seeking information from us to figure out how to target us with whatever ads and so on. So we don't want school to become an optional. Social media right now usually doesn't tell the truth of what's happening in schools, so please don't make that your news. If you want to know something about school, contact the school.
Hey everybody, on today's podcast, we have Superintendent Pat Devine, and along with him is the new intermediate principal, Blake Karras, where we get to know him and some new goals that are coming up for the upcoming school year. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Princeton Podcast, your go-to source for everything happening in and around Princeton. Join your hosts, Zach, Mary, and Kim, three locals who live and work right here in Princeton, as we bring you the latest events, exclusive interviews with local businesses, and stories that make our town special. Your community, your stories, your podcast.
This podcast is brought to you by Crystal Cabinets, a fine name in cabinetry.
All right. Well, today we have Pat and Blake on our podcast. We're so happy to have you. Pat, we've had you on before.
Yes.
Blake, it's so nice to meet you.
Very good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's our 70th podcast.
Woo!
You guys are on our 70th
good.
podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Yeah.
Well, aren't you two lucky?
Oh, they're so lucky.
Celebration.
Yeah. That's right. Well, why don't you guys both, I think most people know that Pat is our superintendent. Blake, what new position do you have here in Princeton?
Yeah, I accepted the intermediate principal position and super excited to take this role, a new role, and work with the intermediate families in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade here in Princeton.
All right. So John Beach, I don't remember that he retired, but obviously he did.
Yeah.
So, and he was there for a long time.
Yes, very long time.
So we hope the same for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope so too. It feels like a coming home for me, and I know John was there for, I think, 23 years,
Yep.
so that's a long tenure. I got big shoes to fill, and I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to just moving forward the good things that he had going at intermediate.
So where are you coming from as far as your career?
Sure, yeah. My family is moving from Morris, Minnesota. My last position was a middle school principal at Minnewaska area schools. It was 4th through 8th grade, so I had some of the grades that it was just a smaller school, so we had a varying number of students to oversee. So I did 4th through 8. Prior to that, I have some activities directing experience in Morris, and then high school principal and activities directing experience in Sacred Heart, which is in East Grand Forks, Minnesota. So
Wow.
I've been all over the map.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Prior to that, I taught middle school. I taught 6th grade and 5th grade for 8 years. So
God bless you.
yeah, it was good ages,
Yep.
fun activities. So my career's kind of taken me all over the map in Minnesota, but now it feels good to be closer to home.
Good. And you
Yeah.
said your family is moving here this
Correct.
summer.
We
Okay.
did move here. So we are located here now. We got a 3rd grader going to be entering 3rd grade in my building. So I got to
Awesome.
keep a good eye on him. And then we have a new kindergartner starting at the primary this year. And then my
Very
wife
good.
is actually going to be teaching special education in the intermediate as well.
Oh,
how-
wow. Very cool.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Perfect fit for
I
you
can't
guys.
believe that you've been all these places considering you're still in 10th grade.
Yeah, I
So,
know. Mrs. Young
yes.
was my 10th grade English teacher, so it's full circle here.
Yeah,
so, and I
it's-
still have to call her Mrs. Young.
Yeah,
so
no, you don't.
I saw a podcast
like it.
earlier from I know Pat was talking about, or one of your podcasters was talking about Mrs. Link, and how he calls her Mrs. Link all the time, and
Yes,
I don't think I'm gonna ever not call you Mrs.
I
Young.
know.
So.
I've been out of school a lot longer than you, Blake, and there's a teacher that I work with once in a while, and I just have to say, hi, Mrs. Erickson, how are you? That's
Yeah.
how it is.
I suppose.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I am too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to break that for some reason. But yeah, it's super exciting that you're here in Princeton, and we're really pumped about it, and really cool that you moved here. And I mean, I know it would have been a long commute from Morris, but yeah, it's really nice to have people in our community. Pat moved here a couple years ago now, is it?
Well, 1 year.
It's been 1 year. Oh my gosh.
Feels like a couple, but yes.
Yeah, because you just had to jump right in when you
Sure
got here. I
did,
mean,
yeah.
it was
Yep.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just been 1 year.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's been a great year, but yeah, I jumped right in.
Yeah, you've done a lot in 1 year.
Yeah, got to meet a lot of people in
Yes.
a short amount of time.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you did.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, we're glad you're still here. We're glad you both live in the community. It means a lot, I think, to people to know that you're a part of the community.
Oh, it for sure does.
Yeah, Princeton's been very welcoming to my family and my experience. Neighbors have stopped over. We've gone to certain events. We did the night out event and
Oh, yeah.
saw the fire trucks down at Mark Park and did the splash pad and all that good stuff. So we've been meeting our neighbors, and it's just such a welcoming community. We're very lucky to be here.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
You probably met a lot of kids that they'll see you in a month and be like, oh, I saw you at the park.
Yeah, with my experience, I've been
principal.
helping at Tiger Academy, our summer learning program. So I've gotten to meet some kids there and then see them out in the community, which is awesome. I know my kids did some community ed classes, and kids said, "I see you at school," and they're already making
yes.
connections. So
Yeah.
it's good stuff going on so far.
And so you're a third grader, you said, as a boy?
Correct. Yep.
and
And the other one's a boy as
both.
well.
You have two boys.
Yep,
Okay.
two boys.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, Hudson and Beckett. So.
Hudson and Beckett. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really exciting too. And be in the same school with mom and dad.
Yep.
Wow.
He's got no excuses. So.
No kidding.
That's true. And no pressure on his teacher.
Well, the teachers will learn quickly that they are going to be correct with him. So he doesn't have any excuses. What the teacher says goes, and he knows that. So
Well, I can't remember who I was just talking to about that. Times have changed, because when I was in school, that's exactly how it was. Like, if I were to get in trouble, and if the school would call our house, we're sisters, by the way. If the school were to call our house, we may as well not even say our side of it.
No.
I mean, my parents are like, nope, you don't get in trouble in school, and you're going to have to pay the consequences of whatever it was. But now it's not like that so much.
Not so much.
Unfortunately, yeah.
And cell phones haven't helped us.
No.
Because the kids will get a story home to parents before the administrator can get
Absolutely.
Oh, immediately.
what happened. Yeah, and it's like,
Come pick me up right now. Or, this is what
So all of a
happened.
sudden the parents have a view that may not be accurate, and therefore it becomes an argument right away.
Yeah. That's teachers and administrators and staff have a very tough job these days in the
Right.
school
Yeah.
system.
Well, I've been seeing on social media lately that there's been some districts that are banning the phones K through 12.
Yeah,
And I don't know if it's just in the classroom or how that goes, but I
there's
get
starting
it.
to be some that you don't even bring them to the building. So it'll be interesting. I was just at a conference yesterday, and they said one of the top priorities that will come through legislation on education next year will be, how do you handle cell phones? Do you allow them in the school buildings now or not?
Yeah.
So that'll be quite the debate. Right now, we have a pretty good system where we have little lockers or whatever they put them in if they bring them in the classroom, or we tell them to just keep them in their own lockers. And so,
Right.
So we try to have them secured during the instructional time of the day. So that's good.
Which is nice. Yeah, I did a
Yeah.
lot of subbing at the high school this last spring,
Yeah.
and they weren't an issue. I figured that they would be, but the kids are so groomed to the teachers that I sub for anyway
Right.
must have the rules that you walk in, you put your phone there, and then in my sub directions it would always be like they can have them for the last 2 minutes if they want,
Yeah.
But most kids I think are pretty good.
Yep.
But
And
Everybody good.
how young are you seeing cell phones
So
these days?
Last year, as a 4th through 8th grade principal, certainly the junior high, I
Yeah.
would say well over 75% have a cell phone on them or in school, in their locker. And then you've seen them as low as 4th grade
Really?
coming in with a phone. And it's not the norm. I would say the norm starts in late 6th grade or 7th grade as
Okay.
they turn 12 or 13. And seen them bring them in. I know my kids will try to hold out as long as possible.
Yeah.
Because I just if you've read the book Anxious Generation by John Haidt,
I've
there's a lot
heard
of
about it many times.
good information in there just about are we creating these anxious feelings in kids because their mindsets shortened, attention span, more comparative to their peers, and what is it doing? What is being in front of the phone all day doing? So
Right.
if we can stop that at the school, which I think most people would agree with, you're there to learn and grow and do that. I think that's the way we want to move, and just rolling out plans to do so.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about that is that, except for the summer, the majority of their day is spent in school. So if you're eliminating that in school, that's eliminating a lot of screen time for them right there.
Yep.
It's interesting that when cell phones first came out, we really didn't have iPads and one-to-one devices. So that became a way of having them do Google searches and they actually use as an instructional and learning tool. And then now it's more just a social tool or whatever.
Yeah.
Back to the conference yesterday, we had a keynote speaker talking about how when internet first came out and Google first was there for research, it was there for us to find information. But now Google's finding information out about us.
Right. So true.
It switched the role. It used to be we used to seek information from them. Now they're seeking information from us to figure out how to target us with whatever ads and so on. So
Yeah, it is different. That is
Yeah.
for sure.
yeah.
And I remember when my kids we first introduced the cell phone to them when they were in middle school sports and were on the bus and needed to be picked up. We did like the flip phone. It didn't have any internet capabilities to it. Can you get that phone anymore? Something like that?
I feel like you can. I feel like I just heard somebody saying that you can buy a phone that just has like the prepaid minutes for the kids, and that it's a flip still.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Just
could
for outgoing
You can
calls.
Google search
it.
it.
Yeah, I'll Google search it.
Yeah. I was gonna say the problem that we had, not the problem, but we had pay phones that we could use. So there was no, we didn't need phones. We
Right.
we could just get our quarter and say, come pick me up or call collect.
And we'd have to go, I think, in the coach's office.
Yes.
Go in the coach's office when the bus got back, get in line, everybody called. Yeah.
So for a coach's perspective, it's nice because when we're 10 minutes from home, I can say, call your parents.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them we'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yep. And then everybody's there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is nice.
Yeah. So, was there something that attracted you to this community, or was it,
We weren't, I wouldn't even say I was job seeking at the time. My wife had shared the post, Princeton Intermediate Principal, with me and said, this is one of the districts we circled a long time ago when we were newly married. We were living way out in East Grand Forks, Minnesota, and we looked at where our families were located. My family lives in Stanchfield, Minnesota, and then I got some siblings in North Branch and Bram. There was one in Peace. Now she's moved, but and then my wife's family had Elk River, cities area, Waconia,
yeah.
and so we looked at a map and circled, a few of them and put them on our short list of, maybe when the time's right. And I was kind of getting in the sweet spot last year in my career, just being a third-year principal. I knew the building in and out. I was ready for my initiatives to come to fruition and getting ready. So I was like, ooh, is this the right time or not? And it is. After getting everything done with the move, meeting some people, doing Tiger Academy, going to a couple of the meetings early on, it's just everything's been this has been the best move that we could have done for our family.
Oh,
and
that's
so
awesome.
seeing all the kids
Love to hear
outside
it.
with their cousins, it can't beat that.
Yes.
So yeah.
Blake, you could have waited another 23 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's how long they last at the intermediate school.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep.
So-
This is your opportunity.
And that's what I feel like. I'm ready to grow roots and be here a long time. I have I want to be a principal for another 15 years or so, and I hope it's here. So
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a great fit.
yeah, absolutely.
your
And,
family.
also with your kids' age, at least you're not, pulling them out of school and moving when they're in, high school or whatever. So this is a good time.
Yep. They're young enough they're going to just adapt well. They already
Yes.
met the neighbor kids, and they've already rang on their doorbell long enough where we might have to hold them back a little bit. They don't need to go every day, but they've already met some friends in some community ed classes, and they're ready for school start. So
That's great.
I think what was great during the interview process, it came across really clear that Blake was all in. If he was going to come, he was going to be all in here.
He's
and,
coming.
And I think you know me well enough. That's my philosophy.
Yes.
If you're going to be doing this job, you should be all in the community. So
Yep.
it's great to have Blake here and
Yeah.
doing great work.
Yeah, it was really fun. I didn't know anything about you coming here until I read in the paper there were 2 finalists, and I read your name and I thought, because your picture wasn't in there yet, I was like, is this my Blake? And then I called up Kelsey Ham, and I was like, do you know, is this our Blake? Yes, it's our Blake. And then the next issue said you'd been hired, so I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah, it was a fun process, and Princeton does an excellent job of the interview process. One of the best I've ever been through. I've been through a number of them now, and just the what they're looking for, and to find what they're looking for and go through the proper steps to do it the right way and to find the good fit for the building was good, because it's been just since day one of working in the position, I feel like I was a good fit with what my skill set is and what I can bring to Princeton and what already exists there. So I'm looking forward to just continuing to grow as a leader and to help our students succeed as much as they can, reach their full potential.
That's excellent. So what were you looking for, Pat, when you're for the good fit here?
I've been in this business long enough where I've hired quite a few people,
Yeah.
and actually quite a few administrators. And my number one goal always when I look for a person to fit is, do you care about kids first? Is it always a kid first thing? And the subject matter and your skill set should be strong, but you have to see that you really enjoy being around kids.
Yeah.
And that's why we have kids in the interview process.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and I observe the interaction of the candidates with the students to see if they like being around kids.
So some of the kids interview then? Or
They
kind of
ask the questions. Oh, yeah.
That's
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you guys did that.
Yeah, and that's something I've always had in all the interview process I've done, whether I was hiring teachers or administrators. I remember the first time I was doing it with administrators, my HR director at the time goes, "Well, we don't need kids telling us what administrators we need." And I said, "Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We need kids. We need to see that they enjoy being around kids."
That's right.
So that's a high priority. Growth mindset is always something I want, somebody with positive attitude and how to work through difficult situations in a positive way. And Blake checked off all the boxes.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome.
And he's a dad and has 2 kids.
Yes.
And so you fit right in with that experience of, being that father role too. So you can take on the parent role and the administrator role and know kind of both sides.
Yeah, it'll be nice. This is kind of like the first year where I'll have a student in my building that I'm kind of overseeing and just level with the parents. Like we're doing the same thing. It's a really, really tough job to be a parent. And the more we can foster that partnership between parents and the school that know we want the same exact thing. A lot of meetings I start with that. Just before we even get to the nuts and bolts, just remember, we want this student to be the best student they possibly can. Do you share that view? I do. And then we can build off of that together. So even if we fundamentally disagree on a path, we can agree on that we both want what's best for them. So the outcome we both want hopefully exists, but the path we can maybe have some discussion about. But
So what are some of your initiatives? I know you mentioned, it's hard to fill the shoes of somebody that's been there for so long, but now, you're in the job and you want to, even like you were saying at your last position, you're kind of seeing your initiatives come to fruition in the 3rd year. And so what kind of goals and things do you have set?
Yeah, well, number one, kind of what Mr. Devine said, I want the student experience to be positive. 3rd through 5th grade is a tremendous time of the lives of these students. They're learning about themselves. They're new readers, and we know reading sets you up for lifelong success. So we want, when they leave 5th grade, we want them to be very positive in their reading. They know what genres they like. They know what kind of books they want to read, and they're passionate about reading. It's coming into the position, the very first 3 months of the job, I just have to learn everything. I have to soak everything in. What people exist, what are they really good at, what maybe is something that our building needs to improve on, what haven't we had that I've seen has been successful in other buildings, and then kind of put together plans to move those initiatives forward. I know I'm very big on all students. So whether we have students on IEPs or students in the general ed classroom, we need to be making sure that we're achieving across of all levels and eliminating any barriers to education. So just making sure that our IEP goals are written with fidelity and written with the whole team input into a plan to meet what's best for the students. And then just work with all the families. Again, that partnership, super important. Let's get parents in the building as much as possible in a safe way to show the students that that everybody's helping, and this is how we treat people, and all those good things.
Yeah.
There's a lot to name, and there's a lot of things that we can do, but really early on, we just need to learn from each other and kind of see what the system exists and what we need to move forward.
Yeah, I can't imagine coming into either one of your jobs. I mean, it's one thing, to come in as a teacher and you have your classroom and you're, kind of getting to know the lay of the land. But in your positions, you're trying to get to know everybody, all the teachers. And, that's in and of itself, that's a job, and try to connect with all those people and kind of see what philosophies everybody has about the job. And so it's not easy. And then on top of that, it's parents too.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. There's a lot of data. Sorry to keep talking, but there's so much data is already out there. So just learning what the data says. Where are we achieving? Where are we meeting our MCA scores? The 3rd through 5th grade is the MCA school. We take them in every subject, math, reading, and then science in 5th grade. So we have that data in our fingertips. We have our FastBridge data and our CBMs, and we're looking at all that. And the end goal is how can we get that higher for each student, not just a certain population of students, but what processes are we doing to increase that? And if we're doing something or change something over the last 5 years and we're getting stagnant numbers, then let's try something else.
Yeah.
Let's look at something else because we can get that without changing that.
So in those grades, they're testing in all subjects, you said, but then as they get older, it's certain ones or that they're testing in?
Yeah, as you get into high school, then it changes.
It changes, yeah. Because it seems like that grade level 2 would be the best to test because most are kind of excited about learning and stuff. And not that they aren't in high school, but they might not take it as seriously as another test. Maybe it's not given as accurate as a
They
as a
just
response.
take it.
Maybe some. I don't know.
And I think I'm going to go back to something you said earlier, Kim, getting to know people. I think to make big changes, you have to build relationships first. And, the old saying, and, from educators was, kids don't care to learn until they learn that you care. If they know that you really care about them, it goes with staff. If they know that you really care about them and we're all on the same page and we all want the best for kids, we'll find solutions for it. So you got to build those relationships and put the chips in the bucket of good positive things so that when tough things come through, you've already earned that credibility.
And that doesn't happen overnight.
No.
I mean, that's a big job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh,
Mary.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
when do you meet your staff or your teachers?
So the teachers have been awesome because some of them have been just dropping in and saying hello. So I've met a fair number of them. We start workshops on August 24th.
Okay, so that's
when
Teacher Day
Teacher Day come in. We have new teachers in before that, but that'll be the big week for back to school and meeting the whole staff and leading the whole staff in the first time in the welcome back meeting and scheduling our different professional development opportunities. But one thing going back about just the students in that 3rd through 5th level, which I'm super excited for, and Mrs. Young, you did talk about that they're so excited to learn, and they're there because they just are pumped up about school. And my biggest wish for that grade is when they go to the middle school in 6th grade is that they're still all pumped up about school.
Yes.
I don't want to be 3rd through 5th be the reason why they're not pumped and loving school every minute of every school. They want to be there. This summer is getting boring and we want to get back to school because it was so fun.
Yeah, and want to be in the building versus online school. Or I feel like, that trend is kind of moving that way. Kids I can just do this online, then I don't have to get up and go to school. And so I appreciate that you say you want the kids to want to be in the building and because it's fun and they want to get up and go to school and spend the day there.
That's exactly right. And really that kind of ties into what, I think one of the questions that you sent out earlier was what are some of the initiatives from the district level. One of the things that we're really going to talk to parents, to students, and to staff is attendance. Some of our attendance numbers are not where they need to be. And I think we came out of COVID thinking it was okay to miss school off and on and it wasn't that big a deal. But to Blake's point, I think we need to make sure that we create an environment that they don't want to miss out. They want to be there because it's fun to be there. They want to learn. They want to be there with their friends.
Yep.
They know it's a welcome, caring environment, and hopefully that helps our attendance, but also helps our learning.
Yeah. And hopefully that will also, I'm sorry to keep picking on parents. I just, sometimes though it is, can I get can you just come pick me up? We're doing nothing today.
I get that as I get that from CC.
Right. So
There's nothing going on today. I'm like, school.
Yeah. But to them, it's a free day. It's whatever. And to try to express to parents also why it's so important that they're in the building every day. That's another big challenge, because I know we've talked to about attendance and the career crawl, and that seemed like a free day to kids, so they didn't show up, on what to do.
Yeah, we don't want school to become an optional.
Right.
Maybe I'll go today, maybe I won't.
Yes.
We want it to be something that you see as a value every day, no matter what we're doing, and then you want to be there. So.
And the whole family unit feels that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is it's a big undertaking because it has shifted, I think, to that
from COVID
feeling. Yeah. To that feeling that it's okay to miss every once in a while. Which I know that it's not like. I don't know. Is perfect attendance a big award now still at?
I did award a perfect attendance at my prior principal positions, just because attendance sometimes is unavoidable. You have a funeral,
right.
or you have the strep throat. We don't want you here either.
Right.
But I think it's nowadays perseverance and grit are two things that we just sometimes don't see as prevalent as maybe 15, 20 years ago in kids and families. So I often talk about, when we talk about attendance with families, like, well, they said nothing was going on today. And well, that might have been true for whatever was going on in the school day, but it's also a little bit grit and perseverance. Well, go anyways, because we can work on social aspects, or we can work on, treating people nicely or having empathy. So all those skills might not be taught in a lesson, but they are when we work with people and our peers.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I think it's part of the school building, and it's part of building those skills.
And I don't know if they do this in the intermediate school anymore, but when my kids were going through, they had a thing called the mileage club, and that was something that I know my oldest would never have missed school because of the mileage club, because every recess they could have the opportunity to run laps around the building during recess, and there was a volunteer to count and how many laps, so they had it measured out. And so then they had a big thing in the cafeteria that showed how many miles all of the kids had run during, third, fourth, and fifth grade. And that's what got my oldest son, who's now running marathons. I mean, that's what started his love of running. He's not going to miss school and miss mileage club. And it was just another little thing that they did.
It's like they need an incentive.
A little incentive there. And it was, during recess that he would do it all winter, run around the whole building. So it was I don't know. There's other little things too that motivate kids, to be there.
That's awesome. I'll have to take a mental note on that
Yeah,
and see if we still do that. That's great.
He also had a keychain that actually I was unaware of until maybe just a few years ago. He found his mileage club. It was a little ring, and they got little feet to put on the ring for so many miles.
Nice.
And then, like I said, the recognition in the in the cafeteria that showed all the kids in the mileage club was pretty cool too. So yeah. It was a fun thing to do at recess. But I think it kind of fell off because of volunteers and, coming in to stand out there and count how many times kids are running around the building. But, the primary school was not there. It can be a little different. It could be a back and forth or, But, so that little things like that, too. And then depending on every single child is different, and everybody needs a little different motivation, and so that was kind of something neat back then that they did.
In 3rd through 5th grade, it doesn't take much to motivate a child.
Yeah.
Right.
They are so excited.
A Jolly Rancher.
Yes, absolutely. A free break, a tour of the school, something, it doesn't even cost money to motivate children in 3rd and 5th grade, because they're so excited. They just want adults to care about them, and they want a connection with people. They're just learning how those things work, and that's what they want.
That's right. Yeah. And so just those little things that you might do that make a big difference in a child's life. And, sometimes I remember back in the day when I was teaching, there were a couple students that they just, they were struggling with things at their home. They did not have a good home life. And so they were worried about other things when they came to the classroom. They were not concerned about learning how to write a 5-paragraph essay. And so, those things that you have to take in, there's so many things to take into consideration with all of these kids, and everybody has a different situation. And how many kids do you have in the building?
Well, the handbook from previous years said 680, but I think we're down to about 660, 655-ish in
Yeah.
that, in
Sounds
that
right.
range.
Yep.
So 650 different situations,
Right.
you know, that's another challenge too. So yeah, all these little things that you guys are doing are, you know, you never know.
No. To your point, though, I think that, you know, you go back to the relationships, you get to know the kids well enough to know where their passions are or what they want to explore. And then you find these little nuggets of
Yeah.
fun things that they can do that makes them want to come, whether it's a mileage club or, you know, we have a lot of other clubs and
Yeah.
reading book clubs and all kinds of
Yeah.
kind of things that they get, you know, tracked and told that they're doing great work. And
That's
then,
right.
then they feel good about themselves. And
Yeah.
it's all about building that self-esteem, self-worth, and motivate them to be there.
And is there robotics in the 3rd through 5th grade level? Yeah, I know
Yeah.
that was kind of starting a while ago, but that's awesome.
Yeah, robotics is a huge
growing.
program. I've seen all the trophies in the trophy case that are
Yeah.
stored out in the intermediate school, and kids get pumped up about that. And they're learning science, and they're learning how to be a teammate, and they're learning how to build and think, and all of our skills that we want kids to learn in that intermediate age as they go on to middle school. We call it earning stripes: self-control, being teachable, having respect, having integrity. I got to look it on my notes. Being a positive leader, empathetic, and safe. So they really have a plethora of opportunities at the intermediate school to do those things. And how I lead, I really like to make it real world. So, you know, last year when the Olympics were going on, we were doing readings and different activities surrounding around the Winter Olympics and earning our gold medals, which
Very cool.
encompassed attendance, which encompassed reading at nightly, which encompassed trying to be safe and eating good vegetables and fruits every day, and not putting our screens down and things like that. So as the world activities happen, we try to make those a focus in the intermediate to promote the same things that we're going to promote no matter what the year is.
Yeah. So
Those
are
life
they,
skills.
so kind of the habits of a tiger, do they sort of look different in every school?
I would say how we deliver them, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
They're all-
that's what I mean, how they
they're-
deliver.
Yeah, they're all age appropriate.
Yeah, so
right?
earning your
Yeah,
stripes
yeah.
and habits of a
Yeah,
tiger and all
right,
those. So they're seeing
right.
those same characteristics that you want to build on
Yep.
all through pre-K all the way through
I
high
love
school.
that. Earning your stripes.
Yeah, I love that too.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great thing. Should we maybe take a break? at
Yeah,
this point?
let's take
I
a
don't
break
know
and
when
then
to-
we'll talk about the upcoming school year.
Okay.
We're 1 hour from the cities and 1 hour from the cabin. We're at the crossroads where good food, cold beer, and small towns collide. Princeton's got pizza that'll change your road trip plans, tacos that belong on your camera roll, and a brewery that will probably just make you forget about where you're going. And if you're into adrenaline, our racetrack has got you covered. And if you're into chill, we have parks, rivers, trails, and enough space for you to breathe. Princeton, it's not on your bucket list, but it should be.
So what can you guys describe? Well, Pat, maybe this is more of a question to you, but how important is your relationship with your principals?
So I think every superintendent does it a little differently, but I'm more of a mentor, coach, support person. I want to be there to help in any way I can. I usually have pretty good autonomy, if you will. Let them do their jobs if they're doing it well. If I feel like I need to insert, I will, and I can hold hands and say, let's go get through this project together, because maybe somebody doesn't feel like they're confident enough to do it, or maybe it's just something that they don't see the value in.
Yeah.
But if it's value for the district and value for the kids, then I would say, okay, I'm going to help you through it. But my biggest role, I think, is just to be there for support, there to be a person of information and knowledge, if you will, especially with somebody like Blake coming into the district. You know, he's going to have a lot of questions about, okay, how do we do that again?
Yeah,
How's that work?
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that we're there to support him all the way through that. Like I said before, when we hired Blake and in my other hires, it's always been, you know, a growth mindset. Okay, what is it you want to improve? What is it you want to work on?
Right.
And how can I help you have the resources to get there? So I feel like I'm a teammate, I'm a coach, I'm a supporter. Am I a person that holds people accountable? Yes, I do that, but I do it in a caring way that I'm going to help you be a better professional, not as a you better beware because the hammer's coming down kind of person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's-
we're watching
fear.
you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not-
fear
I'm not-
monger.
Yeah, and people get to know my style pretty quick, that I'm not there to see if I can find a gotcha. I'm there to see how I can help, how can I support and make you even a better leader.
That's amazing, because there are superintendents or principals, or there's people out there that are, more of micromanagers, and they have that fear, and, they want people to really respect them, and, what I say goes. And I know that I've talked to several of principals and admin, and they love your style, which I think is great.
Yeah, no, it's been working out really well, and it's kind of worked out throughout my career. And it's kind of funny because, some people think fear-based leadership is how you get things to move, and it's more collaborative is how you get things to move. You work together as a team, and you find the ways to move forward. That's how, when they know that, again, it's that same saying, when they know you care about them, then that's when they say, okay, this leader wants me to be better. I want to be better then.
Yep.
If I'm fearful and I'm looking around over my shoulder all the time, I'm more fidgety and nervous and not knowing if I can make a decision. Where when you give them some autonomy and freedom and show them that you're moving in the right direction, I'll help you move in that direction.
Yeah,
it goes really well.
And the saying, it takes a village. That saying can go. I mean, with you guys, with teachers, it takes a village, and I know that I usually use that term when I have other parents helping get my kids around. Like, it takes a village to raise our kids. Well, it takes a village of teachers and of administrators, and you're all this one team, and it really takes all of you to get the job done.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it really is a teamwork approach across all factions. And even, in my role, I get I call it kind of almost like a luxury and the beauty of doing it, but I get to know the community too. I think of all the things you and I have done, Kim. I mean, we've had a great year working together because as a superintendent, you get to tie in the community to your school. And, Blake needs to tie his parents and his kids and his teachers together. I need to make sure our community is also behind that. And Princeton is that community. And it is, we have those parents, we have those kids, we have those teachers. It's people want to work together and they want the best for our kids.
Yeah, so Blake, you might have to drive separately grocery shopping, because Pat's had to do that. Get stuck in
Because his wife
Coburn's,
was like, okay.
talking to people. They'll be grocery shopping, and
Yeah.
Sure.
can you come pick me up in an hour?
Yeah.
Just gets to visiting with the community, and which
You've been administrator long enough, Blake, to know that you get called out in the community sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
and your spouse is like, "Really, we're doing this again?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
should we drive separate? Probably.
Sometimes those are the best spots to just engage with the community and share vision and different things. Some conversations can't be had at Coburn's,
Absolutely.
but
Right,
there are some that can be. So
It's kind of interesting to me to listen to you hear about your approach and letting administrators kind of do their thing. If there two things with that. One is that when you have some new young 10th grader that's coming in that is like, with all these new ideas and has been educated, more recently, or has, I don't know, it's great to let them go and implement their ideas. And I'm always excited about change like that. I think that's always fun to see.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you don't want to stifle, creative thought, right?
Right.
And there is some things that maybe you have to put parameters around if it gets too wild or crazy,
course.
Yeah.
crazy of a thought. And there's sometimes the approach. It's Blake and I are new to our relationship, but I've found at times I'll have to mentor a leader that say, okay, love the idea, but you went at it in a way that kind of turn people off right away. So let's talk about how to do this differently next time. Because
Yeah.
if your approach really can bring everybody in, or it can bring resistance. And so I think all those little nuances are important to help people.
Yeah. And also talking about not being fear, based.
Yeah.
Also, I think about back to the classroom. When I was first teaching at Bram, it was my first job. And the classroom management piece of it, I was taught, don't be kind till Christmas. And that is just not my style. I was very uncomfortable with that, like not being kind. What? Because they just said, if you're really tough from the start, then you can back off, you
Like,
know.
you gain their respect.
Yeah, so then you gain the respect and you back off. And it bothered me so much that when I went to graduate school, that's what I wrote my thesis on. Because I just knew there had to be a better approach than don't be kind till Christmas. So I don't know. I think that education's always changing and the approach is always changing. The students are changing. And so that's why I think it's great to just, you know, let people run with their ideas. And
when I was a building principal, I used to say this to teachers: is the line was, "If all you do is carry a hammer, all you're going to see is nails."
yeah.
And if you're just looking for bad behavior, you'll find it. Let's look for good
It's
behavior.
there. Yeah.
It's there, and we'll help that bad behavior to get to better behavior in a different way. But if all you do is carry a hammer, they're not going to learn. You know.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I mean, even in my job, when people come at me about doing things incorrectly, it does hurt. It's hard to, you got to kind of get a thick skin. And the kids that are giving you the most trouble are the ones that really stick with you. I feel like sometimes you end up changing your whole way you teach because of this one student that's disrupting the class. And so there's just so much, when 90% of the class is excellent, you know. That was always just a challenge for me because I just always wanted to be kind and, you know, so I don't know. That's probably part of why I got out of it too. Yeah. So I think it's a great
ever
approach.
evolving and
Yeah.
ever evolving positions. Teacher, I learned that as at coaching too. You can't go in and, you know, I'm the new head coach and, you know, we're gonna run, we're gonna do sprints, and I want you to be scared of me. And no, I mean, I learned that I wanted to gain their respect before I respected them, because that's how you get the most out of, I think, humans.
Right.
Is if they respect you first, then there's that mutual respect, and you get what you want, or that's how you get the best out of people.
Yep.
Is what I've learned. But yeah, ever evolving for sure.
And not everybody's going to like what you do
No.
or
No.
like you.
And you got to
Or
be okay
like
with
you.
that.
Yeah, or even like you.
That's the hard
if
part.
you
know.
stay true to who you are and what your beliefs are, it's still going to carry you through.
Yeah.
And back to, if you're a kid first person, it's hard to argue with that.
Right. I mean, most of the kids are great. And
Yep.
I mean, they're all great, honestly.
Right.
Just some of them have, you know, different needs or situations at home or whatever it might be.
I've often told teachers and myself, I've had to tell myself this numerous times, that when we deal with, you know, situations that they're not fun to deal with, but we have to deal with them. It doesn't mean we put them off or put them to the side. When we deal with tough situations, I often tell myself or tell a teacher I'm coaching is there's 7 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people. Not every single person's going to like you. This is just one of the outliers.
Yes, it is.
When you think of it that way, yeah.
There's a lot of people, so there's just bound. You stick with your crew, and you know, a good team is one that nobody cares who gets the credit. Things just move forward,
That's
and
right.
100%.
We continue to have that growth mindset, like Mr. Devine talks about.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think when it comes to kids, I think, you know, there's going to be kids that make some poor choices and have some behaviors that you
Yeah.
don't like. But there's usually a reason behind that, and you help them get through that. You try
Absolutely.
to figure out where that's at and help them get through it. Because I've always said there's no such thing as a bad kid. There's just poor choices and bad behaviors that you need to help correct and find out why they're coming out that way and help them through it.
And one thing I learned here in Princeton Early Childhood is that you want them to make those mistakes
Yep.
when they're younger, because the mistakes as you get older have bigger consequences and
Without a doubt.
impact your life a lot more than they are in like 3rd through 5th grade.
Yep.
So those are good teaching moments. Yeah. Yeah. So talk about let's talk about the upcoming school year.
Oh my gosh, it's already August.
I know it's coming.
Gosh.
It's coming.
Practice
So,
right around the corner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yep, less than 2 weeks now. Yeah. My girls are doing a good job. They're doing captain's practice and all their team bonding right now. They were
sweet.
volunteering at the food shelf today. and-
Oh, great.
yeah, so they're getting going right away. So, yep, 17th will be here fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be.
So the school year, I just cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have anything new and exciting coming up this school year that you want to talk about? Or now, Pat, you're settled in?
Yeah, I think, the first year in any position, you really get to know, the whole position, all the players and all the people that you need to have relationships with, and you build that, right? And for me, I look at systems and what do we have, what's working well, what's maybe could use some, value add that I might have through my experience. So I feel really good about moving into this year, having that opportunity. We actually, and coming up here this next Tuesday, we have our admin a leadership day of a retreat where we just work on goals and what are we going to try to achieve for this year.
That's all the admin in the district?
All the admin
Okay.
in the district, yep.
Yeah.
And then we set up, and I'm introducing a system that they haven't used here. And when I showed it to them at the June meeting, we had a wrap-up meeting and kind of talked about the year. And I said, here's something I want you to look at because this is what we're going to do moving forward. And one of the things is not only are we setting goals, but we're setting action plans and strategies to get to those goals. And in the past, they've pretty much had goals, but they really didn't have kind of a script to get there. And so at the end of the year, it's like, I was really hoping to get to that goal.
Did you make it? Did you
Yeah,
not?
right. And it's like, I was hoping to. I did part of it, that kind of thing. And,
Yeah.
and so I have a template I've used for, 20 years with my leaders, and they seem to like it. It really helps them stay on point with their goals that they want to achieve. So on next Tuesday, we're going to be writing up those action plans and leadership goals that they want for their building, for their own professional goals, and then for our district goals.
That's a great thing, because that is exactly what's hard about doing those strategic planning sessions or goal setting, or you have these goals, but how do you get there?
Yeah, you got to make them live. And for me, I do checkpoints then, about 3 or 4 times a year. I'll meet with each individual administrator and say, okay, let's look at your goals. Where are you at? You thought you'd start that in August and have it maybe done by June and move on to the next stage of the goal. Where are you at? Or not June, but maybe like November. And I'd say, where are you at? It's November now. Did you make that metric or not? And again, it's never in a fear-based, threatening way. It's more, how can I help you get there?
Yeah.
And what's missing that you're not moving it to where you want? Because this is a goal you chose, not one that I chose for you. And so those little benchmark check-ins really help people go, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm going to get that done here in the next couple of weeks because I really want to move this along.
Got to get moving on that.
Yeah.
And they got to be top of mind. Otherwise, you just fall right back into what your daily routine. And,
So it's back to the growth mindset. It's there's a phrase I use, and actually I'm probably going to be using a lot this year. Is how might we? How might we make this happen? How might we change whatever you want to change to where you're going? How might we make this work? What are some ideas you have? How might we get there? And what I like about that phrase, it moves you from the I have an idea to now I'm talking about action.
Yeah.
How might we make it work?
Yeah.
What is that action step we have to take to get to where we want to get? And I know each building will have some goals. I know each profession or each leader will have professional goals. And I know we'll have district goals. I already have some penciled in, but we'll wait till next Tuesday to kind of make them finalized.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I
Very
love
cool.
it. Do you normally do retreats with all the admin?
So they've done like leadership meetings and get together. I've found that if you can get off site, sometimes you freeze your mind a little bit, because when you're close to your office is calling you. And as a leader, you're always busy. There's always something you need to be getting done.
Always.
And you can't free up your mind to freely think about how might we get better?
Exactly.
What is it that we can do? And I won't call them out, but we have an administrator that has a cabin, says, you know what, let's do our retreat at my cabin.
Nice.
And it's close enough where we're going to go there and work as a team of how might we improve Princeton schools.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think that is important to kind of get off site and get your mind away from the office.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, especially at this time of year.
And we'll do team building, because if you're going to work as a team, you got to feel confident about your team too.
I love team building.
Yeah.
So important. Makes it interesting.
Yeah.
Keeps your attention.
I would say one of the one initiative we've already started is that attendance. You'll start to see some videos. You'll see some literature coming out on that,
Good.
and it's really going to be a push about let's make sure our kids see how important it is to be here, and we set up an environment where they want to be there, and they feel like they're missing out if they're not.
Yep.
I was asked to be a part of that video, so I got a quick little interview, and but I wasn't sure what was happening with it. I assumed there was an attendance initiative going on.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I found out yesterday at my conference that this isn't, I knew this. It's not a Princeton thing. This is a statewide national thing. Coming out of COVID,
Yep.
we kind of taught a lot of kids that they really didn't have to come to school every day, right? And so that's kind of the feeling, and parents feel it too.
Yes.
So now can we move that dial back? Can we get it to where we used to be?
And to be honest, like Blake, you were saying, parenting is hard. It is hard, and sometimes those kids can just like beat you down with the, can I please, can I please,
Oh
can I
my
please, can I
gosh.
please, can I please? Fine. You know what I mean? It's just, so yeah, it's hard.
It's horrible. Yeah, the kids need a video too on why,
Yeah.
why you need to be in school. It's
Yeah.
important. Like people are watching. Like
Yeah.
there's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a letter in the mail here.
And we're getting all three audiences some videos. So
That's
Perfect.
great.
students will get them, parents will get them, and so will still staff. And we just got yesterday. Sherburne County sent us a letter that they want to send out about why it's so important to have
Oh,
a video. And
fantastic.
So it's nice that we have community support through our
Yes,
other agencies, if you will.
exactly.
School is cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Slogan.
There we
School
go.
is cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Mary. It's cool. We like it here.
So what would you tell parents to do to get prepared for the school year as we're winding down the summer? And
Yeah, I put just in my back to school letter to families, welcoming back, introducing myself. I said there's 3 things that if our students have every day when they come is a good night's sleep. That's so important for our students to be ready to go, especially with the early start at the intermediate school starting at 7:30, just to be ready, brain rested and ready to learn and ready to grow as an individual. I think reading every night, whether the student is reading, the parent's reading to the student's listening to a parent read, some sort of reading aspect every day is such an important thing for our kids to have at the intermediate school. And then the third and final thing is this after school activity is so important for structure. Our kids don't need a lot. They just need to be home, have some playtime, have some certain family time, maybe talk about the day, re-talk what's coming up, what did you do today, just even if it's one thing, what was the best part of your day, what was the worst part of your day, and that structure, and then bedtime, and go through that structure over and over and over again. Our kids that have that structure just thrive in school because school is so structured, because we have 655 kids coming in every day. We have to structure it. When that structure maintains at home, those kids thrive.
And I think kids kind of thrive on structure
Yeah,
too.
they
When,
do.
when you have a routine and
Yep.
and that's it helps. And I think that's what gets hard in high school, because you do have a later start, but then you're playing sports or doing activities, and then you go home and you're studying, and then you have to get up, and it's a lot.
It is a lot, and I think as parents prepare their kids for the fall start of school, you come out of a summer mode where the structure is not quite there. The routines are different every day. Their sleep patterns are not even close to their school year sleep patterns. So I think within 2 to 3 weeks, actually probably about right now, you should start putting that routine back together. This is bedtime. Sun might not be totally down, but guess what? You need to go to bed now, because we got to get you used to going to bed at this time and waking up. Otherwise, those first 2 weeks of school is pretty tough on kids.
Yeah,
Zombies.
for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think showing that, for parents' advice, I would say show that school is important and it is a priority, and that you want them there. Not every parent likes school. So
Right.
you might have to fake it.
Yeah.
But your kid, for them to be successful in school, they got to see that you feel like it's a really important place for them to be, and it's a great place for them to be.
Yeah.
So talk about school, show enthusiasm, show that it's a great place to be.
That's great advice.
Well, before we get to rapid fire, I want to just tell a quick intermediate school story. You may know about it. I don't know if you do, about the plow. So when our
Oh, the plow that hit the school?
So 1 year, a plow hit the intermediate school extremely hard. It was a school plow, wasn't it? I can't remember.
I don't know.
It was kind of funny, I have to say. But it took out, basically, you couldn't be in the building. It was the middle of the winter. And so it was just, it was kind of funny to the community, not to the school at all, but just because it was on video and all these kind of things. But it was so cool because those kids needed a place to go. And so they just kind of spread them all over town. Some went to New Life Church. Some actually went to the high school, and there was kind of a concern of, we cannot have these like mixing, I don't know
age
what's going to
groups,
happen here.
And
So
always like the passing time.
the passing time, and so they figured that all out. So literally those like 4th grade students, I feel like it was, never saw the high school kids. I can't remember where else they went, but
I remember just thinking that this is going to be
and it
a
was
circus.
and it was amazing. It was so cool.
Everybody adapted. And
Everybody did, and it was just really kind of neat how everybody just kind of came together to find a place.
They
for
could
all
have
the
just been like,
students.
"Sorry, we don't have school until it's fixed." I mean,
Right.
we
But
guys
no.
get an extra week off.
Yeah, and I think it was more than a week. I mean, it was some damage. So hopefully you don't have to ever deal with that.
I thought your story was going to be about camping on top of the.
Oh yeah, you have to
Intermediate.
camp on top of the intermediate school. I'm sure you've heard.
I slept on the roof last year at Minnewaska.
Did you?
I did. There's a video
Okay.
of me. I went Facebook Live for the first time ever, and I read a nighttime story. But I did sleep on the roof. But if you've ever been out to Minnewaska, the school sits on the lake. So I really felt like that if you're gonna sleep on a roof, that's probably the one in the state that you're gonna want to sleep on. It wasn't a rock roof; it was a tarp roof. I brought a little pad out
Wow.
and had a camp chair set up overlooking the lake, and it was about the weather right now about 70. And,
Oh, nice.
and calm. So it was fun. But that's the power of people. When you talk about your story, people can adapt to anything. People overcome a lot of things. All of our kids are coming with different stories, like you said. And when you get people coming together in the right way, like that's an emergency. We gotta overcome this.
Yeah.
People just step up. People that you never thought have some leadership skills, and they just step up and make it work for the whole. And that's why these initiatives work. When we come out with a new initiative, is because when we get the people on the same path and working towards that same goal, like safety of students, and that
Yep.
snowplow incident, things happen in the good. And those are stories that you'll remember, but the actions that the people took are the things that really should be
Yes.
shared with one another.
That's what I really remember, because it was just like Mary said, that could have been like, oh geez, but it was just so cool. Yeah, how it all worked out so well. So yeah, it was kind of a fun story. But yeah, you will, I'm sure, be on that roof.
Have
it
you
does
been,
not
have you been
overlook
duct taped to a
lake.
wall? Have you ever been duct taped to the wall?
I have not. That sounds like a opportunity for growth.
There you go, growth mindset, growth mindset.
I think John was. I think he was duct taped.
Probably.
Some of the classes got to
that was a
earn
thing
like
at one
Yeah,
time.
duct tape strips, and
Yeah.
he was
Yep,
taped there.
I think so. Yep. All right, so we're gonna do some rapid fire. Mary's gonna shoot you some questions.
All right, so I'm going to ask questions fast. Now, we tried this with our last podcast, and it was like, do, do, do.
Yeah,
do,
I was
do.
like, this is rapid fire.
So Mary, do you want each of us, or are they questions?
Nope, each of you.
personalized?
You'll both answer.
Yep.
So if you
Both.
answer at the same time, that's fine too.
Okay.
Because it has to be rapid. Okay. Favorite school lunch growing up?
Cheese sticks.
Goulash.
Goulash. Wish that was on my lunch.
I don't ever
Menu?
remember having goulash as an
yeah.
option.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yum. Okay.
okay.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Neither.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Early bird.
Okay. Favorite subject in school?
Math.
Math.
Really?
Both of you. You like the numbers and the data.
Favorite children's book?
We're the growing tree, the giving tree.
The giving tree. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of little 3-year-old and 1-year-old books right now, so that's going through my head. So,
Grandkids?
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So I'll pass on a favorite one.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite Minnesota season?
Fall.
For sure.
Spring.
Spring. If you weren't in education, what career would you have?
That's a tough one.
Did you always want to be a teacher?
It's something to do with sports. I'm kind of a sports
I was just
nut,
going to
so,
say, yeah.
Major League Baseball player.
Yeah, exactly.
I held myself back from that.
You could have. Really? I
I
would
hope
say,
Itar's listening to this.
Yeah.
for me, I'd say probably construction.
Oh, really? Okay.
Cool. Okay. Most memorable teacher growing up?
Blake?
I have to say Mrs. Young.
He's required to.
Like, this is a weird question because we're not going to know who their teachers are.
I have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, Mrs. Babb.
Mr. Timgren is another one that I always think of.
Yes, Mr. Timgren.
Yes.
Has he passed?
And Kim,
or-
you do
Nope.
appreciate Mrs. Babb was an English teacher in fifth
Oh,
grade.
good. I'm glad, Mrs. Babb.
All right, one word to describe Princeton schools.
Awesome.
Okay, I got to come up with a different one. I was going there. Awesome. Caring.
There we go.
Love it.
All right.
Good job.
Well, thank you guys for being here. I know this is a really busy time to take to
Back
come in
to
here
school.
for
I
back
know
to
when I
school.
saw that this podcast was coming up, because we always do a podcast with some leadership in the school every August, and it's like, that's this week.
It is. Yeah. So we really appreciate you guys being here.
I'm very thankful you brought us in.
Yeah.
And everybody gets to know Blake a little more.
Yes,
Welcome,
exactly.
Blake.
Yeah,
I
welcome to Princeton.
I think you're going to be very well liked.
Yeah.
We're
We
happy
love
to
the
have you.
community. I'm super happy to be here. So thanks for
Good.
having me on
Yeah.
today.
Awesome.
Good.
Very good.
So I don't know if this is something Zach can edit in, but you were talking about what other advice that you would give parents.
Yeah.
One of the things I would like to give advice for parents is don't follow social media and thinking it's accurate about our schools.
Thank you.
Because
100%.
social media right now usually doesn't tell the truth of what's happening in schools. So please don't make that your news. If you want to know something about school, contact the school.
Yeah, go to the source. And that's
Perfect.
for many things.
I mean, many things, but especially with AI right now. When I'm scrolling, I don't believe I have to really research it. Like, okay, is this
Is this
person really?
It's starting to
sick
kind of
or-
tell you
yeah.
now it's if it's AI generated on there, but it's hard.
But that's
yeah.
so correct, because that's the rumorville is
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you
Yeah.
for saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to the source.
Right.
All right. Well, and until next time, this is Kim and Mary signing off. This is Princeton. Stay here.
Play here.